I'm
Could
gonna
have had the
channel-
top
I'm
four
gonna
finishers do
channel
one night
Karen
each.
Finney. Don't steal my joy, Angela.
I'm not stealing your joy, honey,
I'm
but I'm
kidding.
going to tell you the truth.
I'm not, no, I'm kidding. It doesn't
None
matter to
of
me.
that is going to matter in 75
I agree.
days. No one is going to say,
what
I didn't
does
like
that
Eva
mean? What does that
Longoria
mean,
or
none of
Julian
that? What
Castro
is none
should
of
have
that?
Who
spoken.
hosted?
They're going to say we have 170,000, God forbid, 200,000 by election day dead from COVID. We got 50 million people filing for unemployment. We got 10 million people losing their health insurance. We have a social justice, civil rights crisis. That's what people are going to be voting on, their lives, not which politician got 96 seconds versus 10 minutes. It's all we have to talk about. It's our job to analyze, but it's not what's going to drive this election. This is a very, very big election.
But Paul, you know, the one thing that I would say to you as someone who's, you know, been a part of the Democratic Party for years is that it would be great if you could at least acknowledge that this is a space where there are consistent blind spots. Every convention, there are challenges around the minority vendor utilization. There are challenges around staffing and hiring and all of these things, and who and how diverse the stage is. And it's not just a reflection of the program, it's a reflection on candidate recruitment. It is a reflection on Capitol Hill offices and how diverse state and local offices are. We can't say that we're a big tent party when it's time to collect the votes, but not when it's time to distribute the power. And I'm saying those are the things that we need to reckon with and really ensure that we're tight. This is not a case that I'm prosecuting against Donald Trump. I want the party to get better because the party should get better. Forget Donald Trump. He's a non-factor, right? Like he is
never
not.
Forget Donald Trump. He's the president of the United States, and 172,000 people are dead who shouldn't be dead because of his incompetence. Our troops have bounties placed on their heads because of his lack of leadership.
I'm saying
this is an existential crisis. I think President Obama.
I understand that. I'm not confused about that.
And I think we should. I'm going to just follow what President Obama said.
I appreciate you and your message discipline is sticking to what President Obama said. In this moment, as we talk about how to ensure the party is its best and how you can drive turnout and we're not arrogant like we were in 2016, we have some things to tighten up. Full stop. I'm not talking about Donald Trump, the impact of coronavirus, the way in which he's used and abused the military, or voter suppression. I know all of those things. I am crystal clear. There still remains a fact that the party is not leaning into and ensuring that they're growing a base of younger voters and people who they need to turn out this year so we don't
Angela,
repeat
let me ask you, is this the moment to talk about it? If you're a Democratic strategist, or if you're a Democrat, is this the moment and the platform to discuss that, or is that in a DNC meeting when what you're trying to do in an election and with politics is to win? Is that what's going to get you to win right now by focusing on those things? Or is it, as Paul says, the big picture, the existential threat? The other things can be handled. You talk about that when you have a DNC meeting, when you're doing the post-mortem after the election and you have won the election, rather than getting distracted by things, yes, that are important, but that may not get you over the finish line. And
here's the thing. We lost in 16 in part because of some of these things. So we can continue to say we need to wait our turn.
You lost in 16 because you were focusing on the wrong things. People were shouting down their allies. People were helping Donald Trump shout down Hillary Clinton in public. People were helping Donald Trump, helping the other party, in the Democratic Party at least, to focus on things that maybe you didn't want to focus on in public, things that did not get you to win. That is why I believe the Democrats lost, because there just was not the right strategy. You guys got stuck in the weed instead of looking at the big picture, which is to win an election, which is to know who your allies are, which is to whoever gets you the closest to your destination, who doesn't necessarily take you to the exact address you have on your Uber. It may take you down the block. It may take you around the corner. But
all right,
it doesn't get you there. But that's what that's why I feel the Democrats lost in 16.
I don't. I think it's because we thought that we could be anti-Trump and that was sufficient. And it's the same thing that we're doing right now. And I'm saying be anti-Trump and be clear about why he does not represent the values of this country.
Yes, you're right. But people were not necessarily pro-Hillary. Everybody, and I've said this before.
And we have the same problem. Like, how many times do we have to repeat this?
When I was at the Republican convention, everyone said before, we don't like Donald Trump. We don't want him to be our representative. We don't want him to be the nominee. Every single person on that stage, the 19 people, however many, fell in line except for John Kasich, who didn't speak or what have you, and what's his name, the other guy who got up there and didn't say anything, Ted Cruz. Okay, except for those two maybe. But everybody fell in line. Everybody at the Republican convention was screaming, Trump, 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 Trump. We got to the Democratic convention, people were screaming during Hillary Clinton's acceptance speech, booing her, Bernie, Bernie, Bernie.
Yeah, and that's,
they did not have the priority straight. The thing is to win, whether you like the person or fall in love with them or not.
Yeah, so he's going to win the people he already has. With Kamala, that base grows. What I'm telling you is, I'm talking to people on the ground in ways that I wasn't in 2016. We still have a problem, and we have the ability in these next several days to solve for it. It's not a comfortable conversation, but we do have to fix it. And all of it's not inside baseball, because these aren't party establishment people. But I bet you we need their butts at the polls or the drop boxes or wherever we're going. We need them. And that means we have to have an honest conversation. It's not a message discipline conversation, but what is the truth? And what are the variations of that truth for people's variety of experiences?
All right, Begala, give us a last point. Let's go to break.
The United States of America faces an existential crisis. Barack Obama is, I think, the most brilliant and level-headed person in our public life. And he gave a speech last night that should keep us all up. He said the American democracy is at risk. With American democracy at risk, this is an all-hands-on-deck moment. I think Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have remarkable ability to unite all the factions of this party and hold it all together, from four-star generals to Black Lives Matter. And that is a very difficult challenge of leadership. I'm going to do all I can to help them do that, and I hope every Democrat will.
All right, let's jump to break. Angela, thank you as always.
It's
Appreciate
a great
the candor.
conversation.
Paul,
Thank you, guys.
Loved it. Loved listening to it. We'll do more of it. We got a long way to go. These are going to be the longest 70-something days of our life. My hairline's going to look like Begala's at the end of this.
What hairline?
We'll be right back.
There you go. You wish. You wish. No grass.